My name's Phil and I'm the plastering tutor at South Thames College. I'm here with Jermaine and Oliver and we're going to give you some tips on plastering. In this video we're going to show you how to make a ceiling centre out of plaster. Now Oliver's made this, this running mould from a drawing. This is zinc plate backed up with timber. Put a centre pin in here and we call this part of it is called a fishtail. This goes on top of there and Oliver's going to start filling it out with plaster, running this round to form the plaster mould. What Oliver's doing is he's going to gently sprinkle this plaster of Paris into half a bucket of water. Always add the plaster to the water, never the other way round. He sprinkles it in and then he's going to leave it to soak for a minute or two, just so that it doesn't get any lumps and stuff in it. We put grease and oil on the table to make sure that the mould doesn't stick to the table. When you sprinkle the plaster in, the dry material forms like a little mountain in the middle of the water, and then that's normally it. You put your hand in to mix it, because you nearly always mix it by hand, and then you can feel the consistency that you want. These are reinforcements. This is called a lath, a timber lath. This is canvas, and we put this in the model to reinforce it so it doesn't fall apart. So Oliver's going to pour this in here. For these first few ones, it doesn't matter if there's a few lumps in it, but later on you want to make sure that you make it properly thin and stuff. And then we're going to run it around there like that. So we're going to need a fair bit of stuff, as you can see. But you see that this here that's what forms the shape. Now, what he's doing is he's going to turn this round again. It's very important that you keep this mould profile, this is called a profile. It's very important that you keep it clean in between each turning. All right, so you put it on there. Oliver, if you'd like to do that, I'll clear up a bit. Yeah. Shape. Yeah, and it's forming the shape there. Can you see? And you can just push it in with your hand at this stage, so you don't have to waste any. So as it runs round, he's pushing it in with it. You probably can't see, but he's going to push it in with his hand to start forming the shape. It's very important that you keep the mould running cleanly, so it doesn't slow down. I mean, it doesn't get caught or anything like that. Okay. So there we go. And once we've done that, I'll wash this off. This just pulls out. We can just push this across here like this, all right? And we'll take that off, and then I'll wash this out. He's going to continue to fill this out. It's quite important that he fills it out in the areas where there's no plaster now. So if you want to carry on doing that, concentrate on the areas where there's hollows. That's it. As you can see, it's beginning to take shape now. We want to try and make sure that we don't waste any. That's it. Let's run it round there like that. And as you clean up, you must make sure that you clean these areas here. And this is where the running mould runs on it. Okay? You've got it all right with that? As it stiffens up, as the material stiffens up, then you can start to form it properly. You need to fill in these gaps and stuff, but you must be careful not to reuse the material too much, because it starts to go hard and then you can't make it properly. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit more, but only where we need it. So try to add the plaster to the mould just where we need it. Don't need it all over at the moment, okay? Do you want to run that through, Oliver? Let me just make sure everywhere's filled out. You've got to try and be as accurate as you possibly can so that you get like a perfect shape. Okay, do you want to run that through? Okay. Now, do you want, if you can make one up, Jermaine, just put only a very small amount, mate, yeah? Okay, so then we can see that it's beginning to form the proper shape that you want. Basically, that's near enough it. So if you run that round, Oliver, until you can take that off, and then finally what we do is once it's completely formed, once all the angles are completely formed, all the shapes are completely formed, we leave it for a minute or two and then we pour some mortar over it and just give it one last sort of like a polish over the top of it. Once we've done this and it's dried, we'd leave it for a couple of days to dry. We cover it with, or we paint shellac on it, which is like a sealing agent, and then we can start to think about what type of mould we're going to make out of it, okay? And it's basically that.